Man, I just ordered this Pandora. I gotta tell someone, I'm so excited about it. I know, just a person, hold on.
Hello?
Hey Johnny, what's up bud? How you doing?
Hey Gamester, how's it going? Cool, I'm just sitting here, I'm just working on the movie right now.
Man, I just ordered the Pandora. Have you heard of it before? It's a handheld gaming system that allows you to play emulators and a whole bunch of cool ROMs.
Oh really? Hey, that sounds pretty cool, but I kind of like owning physical copies of games, you know, but that's just me.
Well, right on, dude. I'll let you know when the review's up for sure, all right?
But, yeah, I'll look forward to your review of the Pandora when you actually get it. Awesome, man. See ya. Okay, bye. God, I hate that guy.
Oh, man, I love that guy. Where's my Pandora? I'm really frustrated. Gosh. Who's calling me? Oh, it's Jesus.
Hey, John. Hey, it's Jason, Metal Jesus.
Hey, what's up, man?
I sense something's bothering you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, something's bothering me. It is. I've been waiting for my Pandora for years now, and it hasn't come yet.
Don't you worry anymore, my friend.
Well, hold on. The doorbell just rang. Hold on one second. Holy cow. Wow, Mel Jesus, I honestly, I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Game on, John. Game on.
So here it is, guys. This is the Pandora. I've been waiting for this handheld for quite some time now. On the box, it says it's the smallest portable Linux PC for gaming, browsing, coding, business work, remote administration, music playing, emulating, and more. That's quite a mouthful right there. This is their little mascot, little penguin, I guess they have. It says also the same thing here. The logo. There's for several different versions. This is the 1 gigahertz version, so the newest model. But they have the classic, they have the rebirth, they have EU version, US, UK, and looks like Australia. So different regions, which is cool. So if you live all over the world, you can pick up one of these bad boys. On the back, a picture of the Pandora itself. It shows it's black, but the console is actually more silver in color. Fully open the system, nothing is locked down. Boot with internal NAND and SD card. You got 4.3 touch screen. That's a 4.3 inch touch screen, rather. It also has a 43 button keyboard, which is nice. Dual analog nubs and classic gaming controls. You got the D-pad as well. 2 SDHC card slots for memory, which is always helpful. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, USB 2.0 host, fast CPU and 3D CPU. Around 10 hours of battery life, which is really impressive for a handheld, especially for what this can do, and driven by the community. So this is all community-based. So let's open this thing up, see what we have inside. This is the system itself. Let me take off the plastic. As I mentioned before, it's silver. Open it up, it's got a nice screen protector on there as well. It's very lightweight. I don't think the battery is in here quite yet. This is the back. This is where the 10-hour battery would plug into. You got the sticker there stating that's the 1 gigahertz edition. Get the serial number. I'll show you more about this handheld here in a second, but let me just finish the unboxing. Comes with AC adapter. This is the US version, so it has the North American US adapter because we're all different. Looks like the adapter as well. Plugs into so it fits. And no instructions, not that I can see of, and they have this metal case. I'm assuming this is kind of where maybe the battery would be. Let's see if I can open. Okay, well then, that was insanely hard and difficult to get the battery out of that metal case, but sure enough, I got it. So let's plug this battery into this bad boy right here, and I'll show you a little bit more about the buttons and layout of the Pandora. Okay, so I'm going to compare the size of the Pandora to other handhelds in the market right now. Here is a 3DS, first version. See, it's very, very similar in size. Maybe the Pandora might be a little bit thicker. when it opens up. You can see very, very similar in size. Actually, Pandora is probably a little bit wider. Here's the 3DS XL. Now the XL is wider than the Pandora in this case. Much taller as well. As far as weight goes, I'd say the Pandora is a little bit heavier, but not by much. Sony PS Vita is significantly wider than the Pandora, and also thinner than the Pandora. As far as the Pandora goes itself, it does open up, as I just showed you a moment ago. On the back, this is where the AC adapter plugs into. You have a USB out for more additional storage. So if you have a USB storage device, you can put that in there, which is nice. They also have a connection to a TV. You can order adapters, you can plug it up to your TV, which is cool. I'm not quite sure what this slot does right there. Your L and R button, shoulder buttons here on the back. This is where the battery plugs into. Now, one thing to notice is the battery is very loose in the back. It doesn't necessarily stay on very well, but once the cover is closed, then it stays on fine. This is your stylus in the back. The stylus plugs in there, like so. There's a touch screen. The front, this is where the SD cards can go into. It takes SDHC cards as well, so you can store up to 256 gigs of memory. This is the volume. This is your on button, not necessarily your off button. You have to turn it on, off through the menu screen. Actually, I'll show you how that works in a second, but it does turn the screen off. Using that, this opens up. You got your speakers here, stereo speakers there on the top. You got these knobs here, which is nice, actually handle really well. You got your numbered buttons here. You got a QWERTY keyboard as well. You can push all the buttons here. D-pad. These are the Y, X, A, B buttons here. It's kind of weird how they name those buttons there. You got your start, your select. This is the Pandora button. This is your menus button. You can go kind of close out different programs through this. It does run through Linux, as I mentioned before. These are indicating lights, so when it's powered on, this will load on. Also, it'll turn a certain color when it's actually on Wi-Fi. It also has Bluetooth technology as well, so you can go through Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Also on here is your headphone jack, so you can hook up your headphones and listen to it through there. Let's turn this thing on. So you guys can see how long the load times are when you put this thing up. It's not too bad. You're definitely gonna need the stylus though, because I notice a lot of the buttons I'll show you here in a second. You definitely need the stylus because your fingers is hard to touch. So stylus or pen or something like that with a nice small point always helps. Good light here, power light indicating light that's on. This is a loading light, so these will flash when they're loading. You have certain lights that will blink also when you're on Wi-Fi. It also has Bluetooth technology. There's also a light, indicate light when you're charging it. It'll show you that it's fully charged. It doesn't take too long to charge, which is nice as well. And as I mentioned before, it's got over 10-hour battery life, which is huge. First option you have is to go to full desktop environment, or you can go to a very simple and flexible menu. Let's start there. Now, the one thing I've noticed with mine, it doesn't have a gaming tab, which should have a gaming tab at the very top, which has all the emulators and stuff in there. Now, there is a nice community on the website, Open Pandora. I'll put a link below, you guys can check it out. And people are very fast to respond to help on there. I just haven't done that yet, but I'm sure it's just a matter of setting my settings. But you do have some options. You can do audio. Notice that you can use touchscreen as well. You got network settings. Change that, you can go to Office, so you can actually use it as there's different programs. You can go online as well. There, which is nice. There's different Word docs. It is Linux based, so that's nice. But I want to switch over to the main full screen. I actually prefer the full one, so let's do that. So go to Other and then Switch. So that's going to take me back to this menu screen. Just go to Full. See how fast it loads the main screen here. So here's the full desktop. The learning curve for Pandora is steep, but as I mentioned before, there's plenty of support. The community, they can help you out. You got Trash, this is Linux based. You got your menu screen, you go log out. This is how you turn off your Pandora to log out. You can cancel here. It is nice to have the Stylus, as I mentioned before. You can also have Wi-Fi, which right now it's indicated it's on. You can also turn that off. We'll save some battery life when you have that off. It does have Firefox as a web browser, which works really well. And you can also watch YouTube videos on this. And one thing I like about this is that through Firefox, it's not the YouTube mobile, which is nice, but that is a good thing. But these are the different emulators and programs I have. You can also go to full desktop here. You go to home menu here. You have different options, different multimedia network. You can have Office. You can download programs. You can have like a Word document. So you can literally use this as like a mini computer, so to speak, which I think is kind of neat. So let's go to full system here. This is where the desktop, I have all my emulators here, loaded here. So I've got all my ROMs in folders broken down here, which is nice. So let's open up some emulators and show you how they work. Okay, so let me show you some emulators I have here on here. Apple II, I couldn't figure out how to work. Apple II emulator. Atari 2600, let's open that up. And load ROM. These are different little games I have on it. This is Pitfall. The volume is at max. Can't give you an idea as far as the volume goes. Now to exit, you just push FN and select. Goes back to the main screen. Let's exit this. Let's open up a 7800. Load ROMs. Go to my 7800 file folder. These are the games I have for it. One of my favorite arcades. The 7800 actually had the same sound chip as the 2600, so the audio isn't very good on the system itself. Let's exit out of here. Show you Coleco. Same menu as before. The different Coleco games I have. Let's do a random one. Cabbage Patch Kids is pretty underrated in my book. I like this. If you like Pitfall, this is a good one to have. Notice it doesn't take the full screen up. I love how these weeds hurt you. Watch. Let's X out of here. These are different Game Boy games. You can see the menu is a little bit different on this one. All alphabetical order. Let's go to a random one here. You can push left to scroll down a little faster. So it plays Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, essentially. To Mortal Kombat 1. Sonya. It always amazes me that they had this on the Game Boy, but it's too bad they never had it for the on the NES, you know? Go push the Pandora menu. Text out of this. Let's do another random Game Boy game here to show you. Let's do Mega Man. Love the Mega Man series on the Game Boy. So it does add some color to it, like a Super Game Boy would, right? Oops. X out of this. Show you some other emulators. Nintendo emulator right here. And Neo Geo emulator, couldn't figure out how to work that, unfortunately. Got to find the right file where my games are at. So these are all the games here. Let's pick a random one. Love these classic Capcom NES games. You know, they made some good ones, especially the Disney ones. Notice it's not full screen or anything like that. But it does emulate it very, very well. Hardly any load times, nothing like that. Back in the main menu here. Here's the Game Boy Advance. So these are all the different random games I have on here. The Game Boy Advance games. Double click on the one I want to load. It's a great Star Wars game for the Game Boy Advance. If you like Super Star Wars, any of those games, this is a good one. Star Wars Trilogy. It's got really cool cel shaded graphics. I'll show you here in a second. The only awkward thing is to aim up, you have to push the left button up right here, aim up, but the controls are kind of weird in that regard. But yeah, it follows the movie really well. Let's pause. This actually takes up the majority of the screen, which is nice. That's maximum volume, so it could be a little bit louder. So the audio is a little off. You can see the audio is a little bit off, at least in this game. Most games aren't like that with the audio off. Let's show you another example. Here's Kirby. You can see the audio is fine in this one though. All right, let's show you some other emulators real quick before moving on. Show you Game Gear. Show you a random game here. So yeah, emulates Game Gear really well as well. I was never a big fan of these Sonic games for the Game Gear, to be honest with you. Let me show you another example of a Sega Game Gear game on here, I think, so you can kind of get a good idea. Randomly pick one. Krusty's Funhouse is a fun, like Lemmings, stuff like that. Okay, moving on, show you, so I can't get the links going, Neo Geo Pocket. Show you Metal Slug on this thing. Love the Neo Geo Pocket though. So yeah, you can see it emulates really well. TurboGrafx-16 or PC Engine. Love these Bonk games. Let me show you another example of a TurboGrafx-16 game. Here's Outrun on the TurboGrafx-16. Love the music. Oh, wipe out. All right, moving on. Sega Master System. Here's like a game that a lot of people aren't familiar with. This is Golden Axe Warrior, and this is a Zelda clone. A lot more colorful than the Nintendo though, obviously. I'll show you one of my favorites here. Ghosts and Goblins for the Sega Master System. Actually superior to than the NES port, in my personal opinion. Game is still freaking hard as hell though. This is cool right here. This is the Virtual Boy. And it uses, you need the red, blue glass, 3D glasses to do it, but I'll tell you what, if you have it, pretty awesome. So let's show you what I mean. Emulates it very well. Looks pretty sweet. So if you're a big Virtual Boy fan like I am, it's cool to have it readily available in your handheld here. Let's exit here, I'll show you another game. A game that is one of the hardest games to find is Space Invaders. Only came out in Japan. If you had read through the red blue glasses, this looks sweet. Just take my word for it. It's got a very cool 3D look to it. One of the best emulators on the system, on the Pandora, available anyway. Have the Wonder Swan. This came out. Came out by Bandai. A few games came out that you may recognize. There's Golden Axe for the Wonder Swan color. The controls are kind of weird here because you have to, rather than the directional pad, you got to use these buttons here. It does decent on N64 games as well, so let me show you. One game it does really well on is Super Mario 64. You can actually use the nubs as well to control, which is nice. Actually handles really nice, the nubs. So yeah, it actually works really well. Love this game. Push the Pandora button to exit out. Show you another game here. See if we can get Conker's Bad Fur Day. I don't think I can. Doesn't do anything. See, it's kind of disappointing. So some games don't always work on those. Oh. Just reboots. PlayStation 1 actually works really well, surprisingly. They take up a lot of storage though. Here's a game most of us should know. I haven't had any issues with any PlayStation 1 ROMs working on this emulator, which is good. One of the greatest games of all time. Sounds really good. It doesn't use a nub, it uses the ejectional pad. Pretty sweet. Show you another PlayStation 1 game here. Another great game for the system. Gotta buy a car first, but you can get the idea. Let's go buy a car first. So yeah, this controls here. That's pretty cool. Let's exit out of that. So you, Sega Genesis. I couldn't get Sega CD games to work very well on this, unfortunately. Emulates it really well. You have to save the slates, which is nice. I'll show you 32X game here. I haven't had any issues with any 32X games not working on here, but like I said before, the Sega CD games didn't want to load.
Attention, North Wing. Wipe out enemy fighters.
Left bumper actually saves slot, and then right loads it. Let's exit out of here. Let's check out the Super Nintendo. Now, for some reason, if I go to Super Nintendo options, sound is off, turn on. Okay, select ROM. Now maybe I'm doing something wrong, but the audio doesn't work. I couldn't get the audio to work on any of the Super Nintendo ROMs for some reason, so I'm sure it's a very easy fix. It seems to play the games really well. But the audio, I'm having issues with the audio for the Super Nintendo. So that's disappointing. So I couldn't get the Commodore 64 or the Virtual Jaguar to work. There are emulators for both and it's supposed to work, but I couldn't get it to work on my particular Pandora, but I did get Vectrex to work, so let's check out Vectrex. Now there are overlays I can download separately, so during these games I can add the overlays, because the Vectrex used overlays, which is kind of cool to emulate that, but let's load ROM real quick. Let's do a game you guys may recognize or may know. Spike. You guys have to play it like this. It's a little awkward to play. So it does the vector graphics not too bad actually. This is an interesting platforming game for the Vectrex. Oh. Now for my conclusion of the Pandora. So what do I think about the Pandora? Well, first off, let me explain my particular situation. It's kind of a unique one because I ordered my Pandora several years back, and it was an early development of the Pandora. Now this is a fan project. A lot of people put a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and time into creating the Pandora. Production costs went up and things got delayed. Because of that, my particular order got delayed, but I do give Pandora a bunch of credit for fulfilling my order, even though it took longer than both of us would have liked. You can order the Pandora today without waiting. I assure you guys that. I'll put a link to their website, openpandora.org. You go through there and there's a order now. You can order it to the States and Europe. Now in US dollars, there's two versions. You get the 479 version, or you can get the 1 gigahertz version, which is this, which retails for $609 US dollars. So this is the most advanced handheld emulator machine that I've actually messed with. It not only plays games, but it's a miniature PC, more or less. I do love the fact the battery life is so long. It can play up to 10 hours. As I demonstrated and showed you in the review, there's a lot of emulators that this can play. I didn't even show them all. It can emulate Lynx, Jaguar, MS-DOS, MAME, for example. There's a lot of emulators that this can emulate it. Now, to be quite honest with you, some of those emulators I couldn't get to work in this particular review. And that's not necessarily on Pandora's, and it's actually on my lack of technical skills, I'll be honest with you. The learning curve on the Pandora is a lot steeper than your typical handheld. You can't just order it and expect to play it out of the box, so to speak. There is a strong community on their forums, on their website. I really encourage you guys, if you guys pick up the Pandora, check out their forum. I'm a part of it. People are very friendly on there and they're very helpful. So my goal is really to kind of even learn more about the Pandora and learn more how to play those particular emulators. And when I do that, I'll do a follow-up video to the Pandora so you guys can kind of see what the full potential of the Pandora really is. If you guys do end up ordering the Pandora, the one website you want to check out, I'll put a link below. It's called repo, repo.openpandora.org. And that's where you find all the emulators for the Pandora. They're definitely updating them and improving them as time goes on. There was one particular program application called PND Manager, which handles all of the particular emulators that you have, which is a huge help. And it's something I recommend checking out when you do have the Pandora. All the emulators are free. Now there is one thing I don't really care for about the Pandora, and that is the fact that every emulator on the Pandora are different. I shouldn't say everyone, but a lot of them are programmed by different programmers, and because of that, the mapping and button mapping are different. How to exit the particular emulator are different. So there's no universal, as of yet, program or menu for the emulator. So it does, like I said before, the learning curve is a little steeper than most emulator handhelds or any handhelds that you've probably played before. But once you figure it out, it actually can do quite a bit. I do a lot of traveling for work, and this is great to have with me. And I love the fact that it emulates games like PS1 games, Virtual Boy games, really, really well. Guys, I'd love to know what your thoughts about the Pandora are based on this review. I'm curious if you've owned a Pandora, if you plan on picking one up. Please leave a comment below. Thank you, as always, guys, for subscribing, for your feedback, your support. Happy gaming. We'll see you soon. Whoa. That was a crazy dream.